Hello and welcome to Abbreviate the States. During this professional development presentation, we will do two things. We will practice the state abbreviations using a variety of drills. And while doing this, I hope we will learn some fun facts about each of the 50 states. In order to make this topic easy to manage, I have separated the United States into 6 regions. The Northeast, which is Maine to Maryland. The Midwest, containing Ohio to Kansas. The South, encompassing West Virginia to Louisiana. The West, which is Texas to Nevada. The Pacific Coast / Northwest, from Idaho to California. And the last two, Alaska and Hawaii. Let's travel first to the Northeast. The state abbreviations primarily use a / system. This means you place a / in front of the abbreviation, and in most cases, it will expand the state name. There are some exceptions to this, and I will cover them momentarily. In the Northeast, you will find the following states: Maine /ME, New Hampshire /NH, Vermont /VT, Massachusetts /MA, Rhode Island /RI, Connecticut /CT, New York /NY, Pennsylvania /PA, New Jersey /NJ, Delaware /DE, Maryland /MD. Let's practice what we have learned so far. Maine, 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 Maine. New Hampshire, New Hampshire, New Hampshire, New Hampshire, New Hampshire. Vermont, 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 Vermont. Massachusetts, 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 Massachusetts. Rhode Island, Rhode Island, Rhode Island, Rhode Island, Rhode Island. Connecticut, 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 Connecticut. New York, New York, New York, New York, New York. Pennsylvania, 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 Pennsylvania. New Jersey, New Jersey, New Jersey, New Jersey, New Jersey. Delaware, New Jersey, New Jersey, New Jersey, New Jersey, New Jersey. Maryland, 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 Maryland. Now let's do a few practice sentences. I have been told the summers in Maine are worth living through the winters there. I plan on traveling in New England in July. I will drive through New Hampshire, Vermont, Massachusetts, and Connecticut. I grew up in the southern tier of New York, along the Pennsylvania border. The nickname for New Jersey is the Garden State, and the state motto is Liberty and Prosperity. I've driven through Maryland and Delaware many times, but I've never stayed in either of them. Let's move on to the Midwest. It's here where we see our first exception to the / rule. In the Typewell-based dictionary, /MO expands to Monday and not Missouri. This is something that you can easily fix by editing your PAL. But if you don't edit your PAL and prefer to use the base dictionary, remember that the abbreviation for Missouri is MSSRI. The Midwest states are Michigan /MI, Ohio /OH, Indiana /IN, Illinois /IL, Wisconsin /WI, Missouri MSSRI, Iowa /IA, Minnesota /MN, North Dakota /ND, South Dakota /SD, Nebraska /NE, Kansas /KS. Let's practice what we have learned so far. Michigan, 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 Michigan. Ohio, 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 Ohio. Indiana, 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 Indiana. Illinois, 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 Illinois. Wisconsin, 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 Wisconsin. Missouri, 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 Missouri. Iowa, 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 Iowa. Minnesota, 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 Minnesota. North Dakota, North Dakota, North Dakota, North Dakota, North Dakota. South Dakota, South Dakota, South Dakota, South Dakota, South Dakota. Nebraska, 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 Nebraska. Kansas, 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 Kansas. Now let's try practicing the Northeast and the Midwest together. Michigan, Maine, Ohio, New Hampshire, Indiana. Illinois, Massachusetts, Wisconsin, Rhode Island, Missouri. Iowa, Connecticut, Minnesota, New York, North Dakota. Nebraska, Pennsylvania, South Dakota, New Jersey, Kansas. Delaware, Michigan, Illinois, Iowa, Maryland. Maine, Massachusetts, Connecticut, Pennsylvania, Ohio. Wisconsin, Minnesota, South Dakota. Wisconsin, Minnesota, South Dakota, Iowa, New Hampshire. Indiana, Rhode Island, New York, New Jersey, Maryland. Illinois, Delaware, Nebraska, Missouri, Iowa. Ohio, Connecticut, Maryland, Pennsylvania, Kansas. Let's now take a minute to do some practice sentences for the Midwest. Did you see the Michigan game against Ohio on Saturday? I grew up in Nebraska, but I have many cousins in Illinois and Indiana. My grandparents would travel to Missouri every summer. Did you know that the Field of Dreams in Iowa is open for visitors? Nearly 90% of the land in North Dakota is either farms or ranches. The state animal of South Dakota is the coyote. My uncle's favorite football team is the Minnesota Vikings. The first ice cream sundae was created in Two Rivers, Wisconsin. Kansas is also known by the nickname Tornado Alley. All right, it's time to head south. The southern states have another exception to the / rule. If using the / rule with MS in the Typewell-based dictionary, it will expand to male student instead of Mississippi. Just like with Missouri, you can always edit your PAL if you would like. The southern states are West Virginia /WV, Virginia /WA, Kentucky /KY, Tennessee /TN, North Carolina /NC, South Carolina /SC, Georgia /GA, Alabama /AL, Mississippi MSSPI, Arkansas /AK, Louisiana /LA, Florida /FL. Let's practice what we have learned so far. West Virginia, West Virginia, West Virginia, West Virginia, West Virginia, 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 Kentucky, 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 Tennessee, 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 North Carolina, North Carolina, North Carolina, North Carolina, North Carolina, South Carolina, South Carolina, South Carolina, South Carolina, South Carolina, Georgia, 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 Alabama, 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 Mississippi, 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 Arkansas, 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 Louisiana, 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 Florida, 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 Florida. Let's now take a minute to do some practice sentences for the South. The northern cardinal is the state bird of West Virginia. Virginia is the birthplace of 8 American presidents. The highest point in Kentucky is the peak of Black Mountain at 4,145 feet. The first miniature golf course was built in North Carolina. The official state amphibian of South Carolina is the salamander. It is illegal to eat chicken with a fork in Gainesville, Georgia. The first rocket used to put humans on the moon was built in Alabama. Mississippi is the birthplace of the king of rock and roll, Elvis Presley. Arkansas is home to Walmart and the home state of Bill Clinton, the 42nd President of the United States. Louisiana became a state on April 30th, 1812. The oldest European settlement in North America is St. Augustine, Florida. Now we're going to head west and practice abbreviating the states there. There are no exceptions to the abbreviation system here, so let's get started. Oklahoma /OK, Texas /TX, New Mexico /NM, Colorado /CO, Wyoming /WY, Montana /MT, Utah /UT, Nevada /NV, Arizona /AZ. Let's practice what we have learned so far. Oklahoma, 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 Texas, 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 New Mexico, New Mexico, New Mexico, New Mexico, New Mexico, Colorado, 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 Wyoming, 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 Montana, 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 Utah, 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 Nevada, 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 Arizona, 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 Arizona. Now let's practice the southern and the western states together. West Virginia, Virginia, Oklahoma, Kentucky, Texas, Tennessee, New Mexico, North Carolina, Colorado, South Carolina, Wyoming, Georgia, Montana, Alabama, Utah, Mississippi, Nevada, Arkansas, Arizona, Louisiana, Florida, Utah, Louisiana, Tennessee, South Carolina, Mississippi, Virginia, New Mexico, Georgia, Nevada, Oklahoma, North Carolina, Montana, Arkansas, Kentucky, Colorado, Wyoming, Florida, Mississippi, Georgia. Now let's do some practice sentences about the western states. Christmas romance must be important in Oklahoma since their state flower is the mistletoe. More wool comes from Texas than any other American state. New Mexico has far more sheep and cattle than people. Colorado means colored red and is known as the Centennial State. Did you know that Wyoming was the first state to give women the right to vote? No state has as many different species of mammal than Montana. The state animal of Utah is the Rocky Mountain elk. Arizona leads the nation in the production of copper. Nevada takes its name from a Spanish word meaning snow-clad. Continuing westward, let's cover the Pacific Coast and the Pacific Northwest. Washington/WA, Idaho/ID, Oregon/OR, California/CA. Now let's practice those states. Washington, 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 Washington. Idaho, 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 Idaho. Oregon, 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 Oregon. California, 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 California. And last, but certainly not least, the final two states admitted into the Union. Alaska/AK, Hawaii/HI. And now let's practice those two states. Alaska, 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 Alaska. Hawaii, 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 Hawaii. And now let's practice the last 6 together. Alaska, Washington, Idaho, California, Oregon. Hawaii, Idaho, California, Oregon, Alaska. California, Hawaii, Idaho, Oregon, Washington. Oregon, Alaska, Idaho, Washington, Hawaii. Idaho, Washington, Alaska, Oregon, Hawaii. Washington, Alaska, Hawaii, California, Oregon. Let's do some practice sentences with the final 6 states. The most important revenue source in Alaska is the oil and natural gas industry. More than 1/3 of the commercial supply of pineapples in the world comes from Hawaii. The Hollywood Bowl, the world's largest outdoor amphitheater, is located in California. Oregon has more ghost towns than any other state. An Idaho law forbids a citizen to give another citizen a box of candy that weighs more than 50 pounds. The state of Washington is the only state to be named after a United States president. For the next few minutes, we are going to put all 50 states together, doing some more practice sentences. Every year, my family would spend winter break skiing in Vermont. Did you know that Rhode Island is the home of the Tennis Hall of Fame? Virginia has many sights to see, including Civil War battlefields and Shenandoah National Park. The state motto of West Virginia is "Mountaineers are always free." Georgia may be known for peaches, but it's also known for its growing film industry. Tennessee should really be called the Music State, since both Memphis and Nashville are within its borders. Abraham Lincoln was born in Kentucky in 1809. Next month, I hope to visit both the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame and the Pro Football Hall of Fame when driving through Ohio. Detroit, Michigan is known as the car capital of the world. Wisconsin is beautiful in the summer, but I don't think I would like to visit there in the winter. Did you know that Bob Dylan and Prince were both born in Minnesota? Zion National Park in Utah is the first national park that I was able to visit. Yellowstone National Park is spread across 3 states: Wyoming, Montana, and Idaho. Olympic National Park is in the northwest corner of Washington State and has amazing backpacking trails. Teddy Roosevelt said that he would never have become president without his experiences in North Dakota. If I ever make my way to South Dakota, I would like to visit Mount Rushmore. Nebraska used to be known as the Great American Desert. Not surprisingly, the band Kansas was founded in 1970 in Topeka, Kansas. New Mexico was home to famous outlaw Billy the Kid. Many people have become rich in Las Vegas, Nevada. I have fond memories of spending summers in Oregon fly fishing with my grandfather. Explaining that I am from upstate New York and not New York City can be exhausting when I am traveling. The last set of practice sentences will cover some fun food facts about a few of the states. You might be surprised to hear that residents of Alaska once consumed more ice cream per capita than any other state. Mexican food, particularly chimichangas, is very popular in Arizona. Fried pickles are popular in many barbecue restaurants across the country, but they were invented in Arkansas. California may grow a lot of avocados, but the world's heaviest avocado, weighing 5.6 pounds, was grown in Hawaii. If you plan on visiting Colorado, have a breakfast burrito for breakfast and lamb chops for dinner. Have you ever enjoyed a lobster roll? They were invented in Connecticut in 1929. I've been told that scrapple is a mainstay breakfast food in Delaware, but after looking at the ingredients, I might skip it when I visit. I ordered a Cuban sandwich at a local deli when visiting Florida. I was not disappointed. Illinois is known for many things, but when it comes to food, deep dish pizza is their most iconic. My grandmother grew up in Louisiana, and she made an incredible gumbo. Do you like seafood? Then you should definitely try to visit Maine for lobster, Maryland for blue crab, and Massachusetts for clam chowder. If you prefer fried fish, definitely get the catfish in Mississippi. Last year, we traveled to New Hampshire for the fall foliage and treated ourselves to some delicious cider donuts. The most popular food in New Jersey goes by two distinct names, depending on where you're from. In the north, it's called a Taylor ham, but in the south, it's called a pork roll. Barbecue is as diverse as it is delicious. Depending on where you are, the style and flavor is completely different in Alabama, North Carolina, South Carolina, and Missouri, but my personal favorite is from Texas. Have you ever had a breaded pork tenderloin sandwich? It's a must-have if visiting Indiana. Thanksgiving dinner isn't complete without potatoes from Idaho and corn from Iowa. I can eat anything deep-fried, but I'm not sure about deep-fried okra from Oklahoma. You can't visit Pennsylvania without trying out a cheesesteak. Thanks for participating in this real-time captioning practice module. Now you're fully equipped to abbreviate the states. And if you'd like more practice, feel free to come back to this module any time.